What would you sacrifice to prove you're chosen by God, your family, your people, your soul? 600 years ago, one man answered that question by spending $142 billion, more than most countries' entire GDP, to build a single palace. But here's the shocking part. Emperor Yongle didn't inherit this money. He wasn't born rich. He was the fourth son of a peasant who rose through blood, betrayal, and the most brutal economic system ever created. Today, we're uncovering how Yongle raised the impossible sum to build the Forbidden City, and how his obsession destroyed everything he claimed to protect. The human cost will break your heart. The methods will shock you. But the palace still stands as proof that when ambition meets unlimited power, nothing is impossible. The question is, should it have been built at all? Meet Judy in the year 1360, over 660 years ago, the unwanted fourth son watching his brothers inherit an empire he desperately craved. When his nephew became emperor instead of him, Yongle started a civil war that killed millions. But from that chaos came a vision. I will build the center of the universe and prove I am the son of heaven. The problem? His war-torn empire was broke. The solution? Turn an entire nation into his personal money machine. Yongle's first masterstroke was extending the Grand Canal 1,100 miles to Beijing. This wasn't just construction, it was economic warfare. Every grain of rice, every bolt of silk paid tribute to fund his dream. The human cost? Millions of peasants forced into unpaid labor, bodies floating in the waterways. But it worked. China's first national tax system was born from blood and ambition, but China wasn't enough. Yongle created history's largest naval expeditions, 400 ships carrying 30,000 men to extract wealth from Southeast Asia to Africa. When Admiral Zheng He appeared with floating armies, the message was clear: tribute to the Son of Heaven or face annihilation. The returning wealth was astronomical, but each expedition cost fortunes. Yongle was running the world's first global Ponzi scheme, robbing the future to build his present obsession. By 1410, people were starving while Yongle's 100,000 workers built his dream. The finest timber required 20,000 men to move single beams. Families sold children to pay his taxes. Entire villages fled to the mountains. Then came the rebellion of 1412, desperate peasants marching on Beijing itself. For one terrifying moment, it looked like the dream would die in the same violence that created it. Master architect Kuai Xiang received the impossible order, "Build me heaven on earth." But every day of construction meant more deaths in work camps, more families destroyed by taxation. Over 100,000 workers died, not from accidents, but from deliberate brutality designed to maximize speed. The marble floors tourists walk on today, they're literally built on bones. The palace was constructed on mass graves of the forgotten dead. By 1415, Yongle had become inhuman. Palace records describe an emperor who rarely slept, flying into murderous rages over minor imperfections. When his wife Empress Xu begged him to stop, "The people are suffering. Please, no more." He ordered the execution of 2,800 palace women. His wife died shortly after. Grief or poison? The palace that was supposed to prove his divine authority had cost him his humanity. As construction neared completion, paranoia consumed him. He trusted no one, slept in different rooms each night, tasted every meal for poison. The $142 billion palace became his prison, surrounded by beauty, drowning in loneliness. The year 1421, after 15 years of construction, the Forbidden City is complete. Nearly 10,000 rooms, $142 billion spent, millions dead. As Yongle walks through the Hall of Supreme Harmony, what does he feel? The palace is undeniably magnificent, but outside the purple walls, the empire is broken. Then lightning strikes. 3 months after opening, the Hall of Supreme Harmony burns to the ground. Court records show Yongle weeping in the ashes. What have I done? He never rebuilds it in his lifetime. The man who spent $142 billion on perfection dies knowing that unlimited wealth cannot buy divine approval. What's it like living in a $142 billion palace? Yongle woke up surrounded by objects worth more than entire cities, but utterly alone. Every person wanted something. Every smile was calculated. The 9,999 rooms, designed to house cosmic perfection, became a maze of suspicion and isolation. The palace wasn't just expensive to build, it was an economic black hole consuming China's wealth for centuries. Every emperor inherited not just a palace, but a burden that shaped Chinese policy for 500 years. When foreign ambassadors entered the Forbidden City, they experienced carefully orchestrated political theatre. The mile-long approach through courtyard after courtyard was designed to make visitors feel powerless before they ever reached the emperor. The palace became the centre of the world's first truly global economy, with tribute flowing from Korea to Java, all feeding Yongle's impossible dream. What can we learn from Yongle's $142 billion obsession? His story reveals both human ambition's incredible power and its terrible cost. He proved that seemingly impossible dreams can become reality, but at what price? The Forbidden City stands today as one of humanity's greatest achievements, visited by millions who marvel at its beauty. Yet it was built on suffering so immense we still don't know the full human cost. Here's the mystery I promised to solve. Was Yongle a visionary genius or a monster? The answer is both. His ruthless pursuit of perfection created beauty that has inspired people for 6 centuries. His innovations laid the foundation for China's emergence as a global power. But he was also responsible for suffering on an unimaginable scale. Millions died so one man could live surrounded by beauty. The $142 billion palace teaches us that human achievement and cruelty often spring from the same source: the refusal to accept limits. Yongle couldn't accept he was just a man, so he built heaven on earth. The cost was everything he claimed to rule for. Today, as modern billionaires build increasingly extravagant monuments to their wealth, Yongle's story serves as both inspiration and warning. Dreams can become reality, but the question isn't whether we can build them, it's whether we should. The palace still stands. The emperor is long dead, but the questions his life raises about power, wealth, and the price of dreams remain more relevant than ever. What would you sacrifice to prove you're chosen? Let me know in the comments below.